collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
And we welcome you back to Pine River-Backus High School. Devin Kruger here with you. It's time for the boys contest between Pine River-Backus and Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. The PRB girls get the big win 67-25. As we welcome you to the Station 371 pregame show for boys basketball. Radio coverage for PRB also brought to you by Laco Heating and Air in Pine River, Barnum's Pine River Napa, and Plumbing, etc. in Pine River. We do have both coaches, and the interviews are going to take us pretty much close to tip-off. The quick rundown for this boys game as we welcome you to that Station 371 pregame show. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle 1-5 coming in. Their one win is against Maple Lake. It is a section win. In fact, it's the only section game that the Thunder have had so far. The Thunder scoring just 43.5 points per game, but they hope that'll change with the return of senior guard Boston Mitchell tonight. The Thunder allowing 63.6 points per game. Pine River-Backus 4-3 overall, 3-1 in section play. They are scoring 66.8 points per contest. They're allowing 71.4. So teams have been able to put up points against the Tigers. Is that something they'll try to turn around here tonight? Only meeting I could find in the history of these two teams last year, first year, and the Tigers won it in overtime, 78-72. So we'll see if we get another great one between these two clubs tonight. We'll take a break. We've got the coach interviews. We'll first talk with the head coach for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, Brett Eisenschenk, in his 5th year. Then we'll chat with Jordan Ackerman, head coach of the PRB Tigers. Getting set for boys basketball next here on KLKS Talk 100, RJBroadcasting.com, and video streamed at yourliveevent.com. This is the Station 371 pregame show.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community. Making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
We are back on the Station 371 pregame show for the boys matchup here in our doubleheader tonight. Joining us now from Long Prairie-Grey Eagle is Brett Eisenschenk. Coach, thanks for some time to chat here as we get ready for game 2 of the double dip tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Coming in 1-5 on the season, Coach. With this year's team, you and I were talking about the roster earlier today. About this a lot of sophomores. You got a few seniors. Just through the first 6 games of the year, how does it stack up with what you expected to see from your club this year?
Well, we knew it was going to be a challenge at first. Our main senior starter, Boston Mitchell, will be playing his first game of the season tonight. He had been out with a shoulder injury, and he missed a good portion of last season, too. So we knew it was going to be challenging. We had a guy who averaged about 25 points a game for us last year who graduated, so we knew it was going to be trying to figure out who was going to lead us in scoring and who was going to take some of that offensive load. So that's been a challenge so far. We've got a few sophomores, and Ephraim Sorsenschubert and Dirk Feldbaum, who played as freshmen a good amount last year, but they didn't have to do much of the scoring. So mainly we've been trying to figure out who's capable of carrying the offensive load.
Well, and I see that has been one of the struggles, averaging just 43.5 points per game. How pleased are you? What have you seen in the progress from these guys, and just how much will having Boston be back in the lineup help this club?
Boston makes a huge difference for us just with his leadership ability, and he's also really, really strong handling the ball and breaking down in defense, which is something that we've been sorely lacking so far this year. So having him back is going to make a big difference for us, hopefully, going forward. And it's really been tough because we got a lot of young players, and none of them really had to step up and be scorers a year ago. So that's been their main challenge, and we really have played some really quality teams up to this point too. That has played a part in it as well. We've kind of gotten thrown into the fire early on here, so hopefully as the season goes on, guys start to get a little bit more comfortable.
Last year, you won this matchup, which, from what I could see, Brett, was the first meeting between the Tigers and the Thunder, and you won it in overtime. Did you go back and revisit last year's meeting, even with the shakeup of your team, just to kind of get a gauge on, what you might want to try and do tonight?
Well, actually, it was the other way around.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, PRB won. Yep.
Yep, but it was an overtime game. I remember a really tightly contested game. We look back on it just to see, which players for Pine River are back this year. And, I know that they've got number 5, Ollie, back, and he really played well against us last year. And then I believe Norman is back, and I remember him getting actually injured against us at some point in the game last season. So we look back on who played. But other than that, you kind of try to take a look at who's stepping up for them this year instead of always looking back on what happened last season.
So with that, Coach, what would you say? And obviously, again, it might be a little different because you have Boston back in the mix for the Thunder. But what are the couple of key things in your mind, Brett, that the Thunder need to do to come up here and get a big section win tonight?
Yeah, I think we really got to make sure that we limit our turnovers because, I know that they oftentimes do bring a lot of pressure with some 1-2-2 press. So limiting those turnovers and really taking care of the ball, but also being aggressive against the press and attacking once we do break it. That's one of the things that we're hoping to do. And then also controlling the glass, being that, PRB has got some solid outside shooters, and shooters oftentimes feast off of offensive rebounds. So we talked about, we really want to control the glass. Hopefully that'll be something that'll lead us to success.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you. And, of course, good luck to you and the Thunder tonight.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Brent Eisenschenk, head coach for the LPGE Thunder. Join us as we're in pregame for Game 2 of our Double Dip tonight. It's high school boys basketball on KLKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC, online at SchruppExcavating.com. Communities prosper and grow when you bank locally.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
We return on the Station 371 pregame show with our chat with Jordan Ackerman, head coach for the PRB boys team. Great to be here for the doubleheader tonight with Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. As always, thanks for some time, Jordan.
Yeah, happy New Year, Devin. Good to chat hoops as always.
You're coming off the 1-1 showing at the Pillager Foreign Show Classic, a loss on Thursday the 19th to Park Rapids, bounced back with the victory over Verndale on Friday, putting you at 4-3 coming into the new year. Coach, take us through a quick recap of the Foreign Show Classic and the 1-1 showing for the Tigers.
Yeah, the Thursday game we really stunk, to put it lightly, and I was really happy with how they bounced back on Friday. We watched the film before the game, spent a lot of time in their classroom there watching the film from Thursday, and just kind of pointed out what we were doing bad at, and they fixed a lot of that in the next game versus Verndale. I thought they had a lot of fight, a lot of fire, especially on the defensive end. We pressed for pretty much the whole game, and that really kind of set the tone for how the game was going to go, and it played into our favor. We were able to get a lot of players in, kind of keep fresh legs, and that recipe worked for us, and the first win for PRB at the Foreign Show in quite a amount of years, so that was kind of fun for them to be celebrating in the locker room versus kind of sulking after a loss. So,
when you take a look at the Thursday game, just because it's sometimes when coaches are that blunt, something really stands out. With the loss to Park Rapids, something that I know coaches can kind of take as a wake-up call if it's needed for certain teams. What was it that really stood out where you told the guys, like, hey, this has to get turned around and turned around fast.
Attitude, and I thought their just kind of teamwork was really, really poor. Park Rapids outworked us, and then when we watched it back on film, you couldn't hide from that lack of effort on pretty much all of their possessions where they were in. There was just a lack of effort, lack of heart, and that kind of led into the bench in the locker room, and I thought their attitudes were not what they need to be too. So that was addressed, and they fixed it. So that was the positive out of that.
So then you have the break, and of course you're back in action, taking on Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, a section game, and an opponent that there's not a whole lot of history behind, but you did play them last year. Take us through your preparation through the break to get back on the court and take on this Thunder squad.
Yeah, first just giving them some rest, refresh the brain. January, February can be long months. It's dark, a lot of practice, so gave them quite a bit of time to recuperate and spend time with their families and enjoy life. And now we had our practice today getting ready for Long Prairie, which, like you said, we don't have a huge history with them. They graduated some seniors and have younger kids filling in, so you just kind of have to roll the ball out and play. And yeah, we're ready for that game because it's a big section game for us. And I think they're 2-5 or 2-7, so or maybe one win, and they're going to be thinking that this is a game they can win, and probably one on their schedule because they played some really tough teams where they think that they have a shot to beat us. So we need to be ready to play our best basketball, and my assistant coach reminded the boys of that this morning. So,
what are you most pleased with certain progress that this team has made, considering the guys that have had to step up into some of the leadership roles, and as you talked about playing a lot of guys, some of those new pieces to the varsity squad?
Yeah, it's been fun to see some kids step up and into different roles. Just to see them kind of fitting into those roles and understanding that this is what we kind of need out of them to be successful. So that's been really fun to just see individual players stepping up, and especially at the varsity level. We have some younger kids that are kind of chomping at the bit for varsity minutes, and they've stepped up and done some good things. And so that's always fun to see players take the next step. I've also been just really happy with their ability to compete all the way to the end. We've had some close games where we've been on the winning side of it. We had the loss at Red Lake, which was not our best, but I think the kind of end-of-game situations, our experience has really helped. And they're competitive. They want to win. And it just found a way to win some of those close games, which is really important in the season because you're going to have close games. And our margin of victory our margin of error is very low because we're just not quite at that top-end talent yet. But we got to be just continuing to do all the little things so that margin can continue to grow. And I think you got to start somewhere, and I'm glad they're winning a few of those close games.
Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Good luck against the Thunder.
Yeah, thanks, Devin.
That was Jordan Ackerman, head coach for the PRB Tigers, as there won't be an anthem break, and they are going through the announcements as we get ready to give you the starting lineups here on the Station 371 pregame show. Let's start with the Long Prairie-Grey Eagle Thunder, head coached by Brett Eisenshank. 1-5 overall, 1-0 in section play. They will start a sophomore forward, Dirk Fellbaum. A sophomore guard, Ephraim Schwartzentruber. A junior guard, Joel Felix. Senior guard making his first first start tonight, back for the Thunder of Boston Mitzel. And then junior forward, Travis Warner. So it's a senior, 2 juniors, and 2 sophomores for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Fellbaum, Schwartzentruber, Felix, Mitzel, and Warner. For the Pine River-Backus Tigers, coming in at 4-3 on the year, 3-1 in Section 5A. Again, this is a 5A West subsection matchup for Pine River-Backus and head coach Jordan Ackerman. They'll start senior Tate Norman, junior Isaiah Ollie, sophomore Isaiah Downey, junior Mason Nelson, and senior Dalton Minion. 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore for the Tigers, Norman, Ollie, Downey, Nelson, and Minion. We'll wrap up the Station 371 pregame show and have your opening tip right after this. It's high school boys basketball, game 2 of our doubleheader on KLKS Talk 100 and yourliveevent.com.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors on their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Here we go. Thunder in the white jerseys. The Tigers in the orange. Tigers will go to my right. Thunder to my left. Dalton Minion going to tip it off against Dirk Feldbaum, and the possession controlled by long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Joel Felix will have it. Drives down the left side. Kicks it out. Here's a three by Schwartzentruber, and he buries it right out of the gate. Schwartzentruber for three for long Prairie-Grey Eagle as they get the first bucket on the board here tonight. Again, Pine River-Backus an overtime win. Here's Tate Norman driving right side and lays it off the back rim, and long Prairie-Grey Eagle rebounds. Schwartzentruber with a pass tipped on the near side and nearly crashing. It was Isaiah Downey. Now a pass in traffic picked up by Warner. Schwartzentruber thought about a long three. They get into the corner to Felix. Here's a three. This is Feldbaum, and this one off the back iron. Long rebound, though, tracked down by the Thunder. Coach Ackerman talked about defensive intensity as here's another three, and Ephraim Schwartzentruber, the sophomore, burying two right out of the gate. 6-0 long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Thunder looking to get after it defensively. Norman with the driving kick. Minion dogging baseline, goes reverse side, high off the window, didn't get much on it, and long Prairie-Grey Eagle rebounds. Long pass down court. Tate Norman rising up and getting the steal. Norman trying to start transition the other way. Ollie wide open underneath, and here's a turnaround instead, and Tate Norman connects. Good thing he made that with Isaiah Ollie wide open underneath. 1-2-2 full court. Here's a test tipped away. That one a steal for Downey. Thunder back-to-back turnovers. Ollie, three from the corner. Front iron, no. Norman, offensive rebound. Goes up. The putback left short. Another offensive rebound for the Tigers. This turnaround, no. Minion, fourth chance. This one rolls off. And they're going to get basket interference as Isaiah Ollie made connection with the net. Boy, the Tigers coming away empty after three good chances underneath. A very frantic first minute 10 here on the boys' side. 6-2. In favor of the Thunder. Schwartzentruber, the sophomore sharpshooter, with a couple of threes to lead the Thunder. Here's a pick on the right side to Felix. Schwartzentruber thought about it, now dribbles, free throw line, pulls up, that was the I'm feeling it shot, offensive rebound for the Thunder. Coach Ackerman talked about defense and teamwork for the Tigers. He thought they fixed it against Verdale. Now here's Schwartzentruber driving left side, too strong, and the Tigers catch a break. Nelson up ahead for Downey, and Downey fouled just before he goes up for the shot. Boston Mitchell gets a piece of the arm, and Mitchell picks up our first foul tonight. McGregor boys leading Cook County 42-30 at the half. Pine River-Backus girls won the first half of our doubleheader, 67-25 tonight. Didn't see much for other score updates. Most games just getting underway. Norman kicks it out. Nelson, the big man, for three, and he buries it! Mason Nelson on the kick out. 6-5 long Prairie-Grey Eagle. On the other end, here's Feldbaum. Feldbaum shot short. Isaiah Downey the rebound for PRB. Downey across into the half court, into the front court. To the right side, Norman, that pass a little off kilter. Norman crosses over. He's going to spot it for three. Got it! 8 straight for the Pine River-Backus Tigers, and the home team takes the lead. 8-6. Thunder 1-5 on the season. Tigers 4-3. On the right side, it's Mitchell. Mitchell working against the Tigers in that kind of 1-2-2 matchup. Now Felix in traffic, and he split two defenders, lost his footing, and he's going to get called for the extra step and a turnover. Third turnover on long Prairie-Grey Eagle as Coach Eisenschenk in his 5th year calls out the defensive play. Thunder showing a 1-2-2 half-court trap. Norman splits it to the right side. It's Minion. Minion looking back from Norman. Pass tip. Norman has it. Goes up. Left hand. Count it. 7 points for Tate Norman in this 10-0 run for the Tigers. And now there's a pass almost tipped and stolen away by Isaiah Ollie. Knocked out of bounds. Thunder will inbound under the baseline. Going right to left as I see it here in the first half. 14-18 on the clock. 10-6 to 10-0 Pine River-Backus run. Here's Boston Mitzel. Fakes the pass. Goes all the way. And he scoops and scores. Great speed and finish by Boston Mitzel. That's what the Thunder have been wanting to see with his return tonight. Here's a lob pass inside, looking for Norman, tipped away by Feldbaum. First turnover on the Tigers. Feldbaum on the left side, looking for a high screen, gets it from Warner. He's going to drop it to Mitzel. Felix, defenders crossed up. Felix in the middle of the floor with the fadeaway. That one well short of the mark. Rebound picked up by Dalton Minion, and then he's going to be fouled, and that's going to be Boston Mitzel's second foul. With not even 4.5 off the clock, he was trying to be aggressive, but that one you've got to hold up a little bit as Mitzel picks up his second personal. Substitution in for Pine River-Backus. Jonathan Sjogren replaces Mason Nelson. For LPGE, senior Tyler Draxton comes in for Mitzel, who will sit with 2 early fouls. 13:35 on the clock, first half. Tomorrow, here's a pull-up for Isaiah Downey. This one spins out. And the rebound along Prairie-Grey Eagles, Draxton. Tomorrow we have Northern Lakes boys hockey taking on Southwest Christian Richfield. Pregame at 6:30 right here on KLKS Talk 100. Here's a pass to nobody. Tracked down by Schwarzenberger. He'll launch the long three. That one off the mark. Good rebound by Downey. Feldbaum swiped down at it, and well, they're letting things play a little bit physical here in this first half. Isaiah Ollie pulls back, wants three, rattles it in. 13-8, Pine River-Backus in front here on this Friday night for boys basketball, second half of a doubleheader. Tigers looking for the sweep. Feldbaum splits two defenders. Downey got caught in the nose. Schwarzenberger a deep three again. This one short. And Downey, even after holding his nose, comes in and grabs the rebound. Still trying to shake off the shot to the face. He still got the rebound. Ollie wants another three. Got it! Coach Eisenschenk said he remembered Ollie from last year, and he's got back-to-back triples. Now another steal. Ollie again. It goes up. Good defense. Norman with the tip is off the mark. And the Thunder, both teams playing high tempo. Thunder think they maybe trying to slow it down a tad, but no, sir. Felix with a drive. Rejected by Tate Norman. It's out of bounds off of the Tigers. Sub coming in, junior Cole Oberfell in for the first time for the Tigers. He'll send Dalton Minion for a break. I'll have the Tigers next week on Thursday when they go to Pequot Lakes. Just a few short miles. Here's Feldbaum on the baseline. That one a tad long, rebounded by Sjogren. Sjogren brings it into the front court. Downey, quick three, right side. Got it! The fifth triple already in the first half by the Pine River-Backus Tigers. And that has sparked a 19-2 run and a timeout by Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. 11:52 on the clock in the first half, and the PRB Tigers are up 19-8 here on KLKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus Schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Community Bowl and Pizzeria in Pine River.
Wide's Major Appliance.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ. 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
KLKS Radio, YourLiveEvent.com. Devin Kruger with you. Play back in action. Travis Warner into Feldbaum. Feldbaum, and that's going to be waved off and a travel. Fourth turnover on LPGE coming out of the timeout here in the first half. 11:34 on the clock. Pine River-Backus with a 19-8 lead. As the Cole Oberfell driving with a pump fake. Free throw line. Puts it up too hard off the glass. Feldbaum rebounds for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. 11:15 on the clock. Over to the right side in for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle during the timeout. Max Mitzel, a freshman guard. Here's the left side. This is Draxton. Draxton with the drive. In traffic and a strong finish by the senior. Making it 19-10 for the Thunder. They just need to find a way to slow down the offense. But here's Norman with a quick three, and he puts it down again. Norman already has 10, and the Tigers starting 2025 hot from downtown. Schwartzentruber lobs up to Draxton. Feldbaum with the drive. Feldbaum working, and a strong score going up right against the Jonathan Sjogren. Sjogren had good solid defense on that, but the taller Feldbaum with a good power step and a little rise and shoot. Norman at the top of the key, fakes it, looks to drive, nothing there, kicks it back out. Nelson back into the game. Thought about the three a couple of times. Back to Norman, and you can tell Long Prairie Eagle trying to get out on the shooters. Here's Nelson on the pick and roll. Nelson underneath, flips to Oberfell on the left side, and a great double pump shot. Good feed by Nelson. 24-12, Pine River-Backus here in this first half. 10 minutes on the first half clock. Schwartzentruber to Draxton. Schwartzentruber, he's open. Another one on the way. This one back iron. He hit his first two. Rebound tap. Schwartzentruber down the lane. Off the front iron again. A third chance. Feldbaum shot up. This one bricked off the right side. Three opportunities. No points for the Thunder. Norman around the back. Kicks it out to Ollie. He's going to put up the deep three. This one is short, and the Tigers finally cooled off a little. Oh, they're going to say it was tipped. None of the Tigers are reacting as if that shot was tipped, but they're going to say Long Prairie Eagle got a piece of it at the top. Feldbaum, I think that might have been Feldbaum. Tigers will bring in Talon Vilno, a senior, and Dalton Minion going to come in as well. 9:33 to go in the first half. 24-12. Pine River-Backus in front. Tiger girls won handily tonight over the Thunder, 67-25. Quick discussion on the shot clock. They're going to keep it where it is at 24. Ollie looking inbound. Oberfell on the right side. Here's a step back three for Sjogren. This one off the left side. Minion, good hustle offensive rebound. Here's Vilno with the short runner. No, Minion underneath, and he's going to be tangled up and fouled by Travis Warner. Well, both teams getting after it on the offensive glass. Tate Norman actually coming off and put some ice on his left knee. Oberfell will exit as Minion comes back in. Vilno up top to Downey back on the floor for the Tigers. Isaiah Ollie. He's hit a couple of threes. Norman's hit a couple of threes. Altogether 6 here in the first half for the Tigers. Vilno to the free throw line. Looks to kick it off. Shot clock at 5, and that one behind the intended target of Dalton Minion, and a turnover on PRB. Halfway through the first half, Max Mitzel up top. Schwartzentruber hit his first couple of threes, has been quiet since. Now pass tipped. And here comes Feldbaum. Feldbaum looking for the lob inside to Warner. It's tipped away and stolen. 5th turnover on Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Ollie driving with the high runner. That one off the mark, and the rebound swatted out of bounds, awarded to LPGE. Mason Nelson back in for the Tigers. Senior guard Nathan Anderson checks in for the first time for the Thunder. Minnesota and Virginia Tech in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. About 7.5 minutes left of the second quarter. They are tied at 7. Here's a pass to the left side, and nice job by Anderson to recover and save that in play. He's got it on the left side. Norman with the steal. Norman with the second steal down the right side. Here's a little bump, and are they going to wave it off? They are. Oh, coaching staff for PRB doesn't like that one at all. There really wasn't a whole lot of contact, but heading down towards the floor with Schwartzentruber. They're going to wave off the bucket and give Tate Norman the offensive foul. A turnover on Pine River-Backus, and the PRB fans not happy at all with that call. Foul bomb to the right side for Anderson. Anderson, and well, that was a travel that I think they missed. Here's the kick out. Schwartzentruber, 3, right side on the wing, high off the back iron. Rebound tracked down, bounced off a couple of shoulders, a couple of heads. LPG with it. Schwartzentruber left side, rejected by Isaiah Downey. 12 to shoot, and now we're going to get a foul on Pine River-Backus. Very frantically chaotic first half, and in some senses that's okay as Norman picks up the foul, so that's 2 quick ones on the senior Tate Norman. But there's definitely a lack of flow as it's a lot of just Speedy Gonzalez all around the court. Ollie comes back in replacing Norman for the Tigers. Boston Mitchell back in for the Thunder. Tigers in a 2-3 zone off the inbound, 7:50 to play first half. PRB up 24-12. 18 of the 24 for PRB from beyond the arc. Here's Boston Mitchell down inside, and Warner cannot finish. Tigers rebound it. Ollie flips it back to Minion. Minion looking to get down the middle of the court to Nelson. Nelson wants 3. Book it. Another 3 for Mason Nelson. 27-12. And now the Tigers trying to again crank up the defense. Warner to Feldbaum. Feldbaum with the runner, and a nice answer on the other end by Dirk Feldbaum. Tigers still up 27-14. And you don't want to trade 2s for 3s, as now putting the pressure on Boston Mitchell, and he is in foul trouble. He just picked up his 3rd, reaching in on Isaiah Ollie. Felix will come in for Mitchell. Ollie will inbound right in front of the Thunder's bench. He'll give it to Villeneuve. To Isaiah Downey. Downey's got a triple on the night. Goes behind the back to Ollie between the circles. Shot clock at 25. We're under 7 to play in the first half. Ollie gets a screen at the top of the key. Lobbing it, looking for Villeneuve. Schwartzentruber knocked it away from behind. It's out of bounds. Staying with Pine River-Backus. Shot clock at 18. Gophers are threatening in the second quarter to take the lead. Off the inbounds, Ollie goes up. Felix got a piece of it. Joel Felix, much shorter, and then on the loose ball, Mason Nelson knocks down his 3rd from beyond the arc in the first half, 30-14. And the big man, junior Mason Nelson, showing the touch from beyond the arc. 6.5 to play in the first half. Schwartzentruber trying to answer that one well off the mark. Long rebound tracked down by Villeneuve. Villeneuve will give it to Nelson. He'll give it over to Isaiah Downey. Downey down the left side. Nobody there. Attacks, does not finish. And the rebound to Nathan Anderson. Thunder catch a bit of a break on that one. Warner, good touch pass. Left side, Warner has it down the left side. And Travis Warner, the junior, with his first bucket tonight. 30-16 as we crawl under 6 to play here in the opening session. Pine River-Backus won in overtime last year. Villeneuve to Nelson. He's feeling it. Another one. Got it! Mason Nelson with 12 in the first half. The crowd going nuts. Timeout, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, 5:40 to go in the first half. It is Pine River-Backus 33, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle 16 on yourliveevent.com and KLKS Talk 100.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
www.fnbnorth.com. Member FDSE. Devin Kruger back with you. Checking the scoreboard, nothing new really to report. Pine River-Backus up 33-16. Here's Ephraim Schwartzentruber to the right side, Feldbaum. Felix, pass fake down the left side, kicks it out. Nathan Anderson, he wants a three. That one misses everything. Feldbaum, offensive rebound, and Nelson got a piece of it on the way back up. Tigers basketball up by 17 here in this first half. And there's Felix knocking away from Vilno. Out of bounds. Tigers will inbound on the far side. Inbounds to Ollie. Ollie, Downey, Nelson, Vilno, and Minion. The five on the floor. Thunder 2-3 zone. Ollie into the corner. Nelson thought about it, puts it on the deck. Fires the skip pass to the near side. Downey with a great steal from Vilno. The three, no. Vilno tracks down the offensive rebound. Minion lobs it up. Left side, Ollie. Ollie wants another. This one a little too soft. And the rebound to Travis Warner. Thunder have been happy to run with the Tigers in this first half. On the right side, Schwartzentruber up top. One dribble by Feldbaum. Inside, here's the runner. Nice! Splittering the defense, count the bucket, and they're going to count it, and Long Prairie Eagles going to get the ball out of bounds. Nathan Anderson with the finish, and the senior off the bench with his first bucket. The foul is going to be after the shot. It's going to be an and one opportunity. Okay, so yep, it's going to be after the basket went in, so it's going to be 2 points, and the Thunder are going to inbound the ball underneath. Tate Norman, Cole Oberfeld, Jonathan Sjogren, all back in for the Tigers, as well as for the first time we see senior Grady Mungan check into the contest. Thunder brought Tyler Draxton back on the floor. Draxton looking to inbound. Lobs it way up top to Felix. Mungan just about had a beat on the pass to Anderson. 2-3 zone for the Tigers. Schwartzentruber looking for another three. That one off. Again, he hit his first two. He's been cold since. Offensive rebound and a second chance for the Thunder. And now we're going to get a travel. Losing his footing was Draxton. Turnover number 6 on the Thunder in this first half. The Tigers have committed just 3. 4:18 to play in this opening half. 33-18. Pine River-Backus in front. Norman lobs to Sjogren. Back to Norman. Norman looking to take it down left side. Up, under, scoop, score. A dozen for Norman in this first half. 35-18 PRB. Felix tracking down a loose ball. Long reach for this Tigers. Feldbaum right side, and there's a bump. Count the bucket and one. Cole Oberfeld commits the foul. Feldbaum, the sophomore, with his third bucket. He's got 6 and a chance for one more. Really is frantic, and how much we've seen these teams just flying all over the floor. It's almost amazing that there's only 8 total fouls. Feldbaum's free throw is off the mark, and the rebound out of bounds, and they're going to say it was last touched by Anderson of Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, or is they going to say last touch by Ollie? They're going to say last touch by Ollie. Official never signaled. He just told them what it was. Now we know. Here's a three off the inbounds. That one off the mark, and the rebound again. Unable to be handled by the Tigers. LPGE will inbound again. Pequot Lakes girls basketball on the road at 10th ranked in AA Duluth Marshall. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Duluth Marshall with a 2-point lead, 30-28. Schwartzentruber wants another three. Finally found the range again for the Thunder. Third one of the night for Schwartzentruber, 35-23. Back-to-back buckets with some extra chances. Norman with the fake, drives again, puts up the runner, and the floater is good. Norman answers with a nice touch shot down the lane. 37-23, 3:18 to go. Here's a pass behind Feldbaum, and this time the Thunder a little too fast, and they turn it over. Warner will come back in, replacing Draxton for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Tigers won the meeting last year 78-72. Radio coverage for the Tigers tonight brought to you in part by Barnum's Pine River Napa, Linco Heating and Air in Pine River, and Plumbing, etc. of Pine River. As Tate Norman looked to cross over Schwartzentruber, he reached in and commits the foul. Max Mitzel coming in. He'll replace Anderson for LPGE. Nelson will come in. He'll replace Mungan for Pine River-Backus. 3:05 to play first half, 37-23. Here's Sjogren. Well, they pass behind the back, and that one a little too cute. Thunder running. Max Mitzel up ahead to Felix. Felix to Feldbaum. Two Thunder players underneath the basket, but they were so much shorter than the Tigers, they kicked it back out. Now Feldbaum wants a three. That been a big one. Rebound tapped. It's on the deck, and Oberfeld collects it for the Tigers. Oberfeld launching it ahead, and that one too high. Way too much on that one, looking for Nelson. Tigers have led by as many as 15. Make that 17. 33-16, and now here's a turnover. Oberfeld gets the ball back. Oberfeld down the left side, going up, count the bucket, and one. There were two Thunder there, both officials calling a foul. There's no doubt that it was on the Thunder and that the bucket was good. It was just which Thunder player was going to get the personal foul. They'll put it on Warner. His second. Oberfeld with a really strong finish, driving the left side. Chance for one more. First free throw tonight for the Tigers. And it is good. 3-point play for Oberfeld. Makes it 40-23 in favor of the Tigers. Now a steal. Isaiah Ollie with the steal and the finish. Ollie has 8. And now a pass on the near side, and the Tigers almost got another one right in front of the scorer's table. So suddenly these last couple minutes, the Thunder having trouble hanging on to the basketball. Felix lobs it up to Schwarzentrooper. 2:09 to play first half, 42-23 Tigers. Tigers looking for win number 5 on the year. The Thunder coming in 1-5 on the season. Feldbaum crosses over Ollie. Good defense. Feldbaum with the runner off the back iron. Got his own rebound. Puts it back up. Misses again, and Ollie gets it for the Tigers. Lots of second chances for both of these teams in the first half. Oberfeld up top to Sjogren. Tigers like quick shots. Tigers haven't been in any sort of trouble on the shot clock. Norman rises up from 15. Little too much. Rebound tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Cole Oberfeld. I have the Thunder with a 20-19 edge on the glass here in the first half. Halftime report coming up next. Minute 33 remaining in the opening session. Dirk Feldbaum with a pass to Warner. Too high, tipped out of bounds. I think that was last touched by the Thunder. It was. Turnover number 10 in the first half. Golden Gophers got a touchdown. They lead Virginia Tech 13-7 in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Currently on Cash 95.9 and KKN AM 930 FM 103.1 as Norman trying to go around the back, stolen away by Schwarzentrooper. Up ahead, shot missed by Felix. Here's Feldbaum. Feldbaum, good hustle by Oberfeld. Feldbaum gets a second chance and puts it up and in. He's got 8. 42-25. Lead at 17. A 19-point lead for the Tigers, the biggest we've seen. Final minute of the first half. Jonathan Sjogren to Ollie. Over to Nelson in the corner. Wants another three. This one spins. Oh, boy, it looked good, too. Quick release by Nelson. Feldbaum will flip it back to Schwarzentrooper from way downtown. That one predictably short. Max Mitzel with the offensive rebound. Another opportunity, and now Nelson getting on the floor, and we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have a jump ball as Mitzel was battling with Feldbaum. Possession arrow favors Pine River-Backus. 31.2 seconds. As Downey will come in for Sjogren. Mason Nelson, 4 3-pointers in this first half for the Tigers. Shot clock is off. Tigers in 17-point lead. Norman gets a high screen, looking to drive. Drives all the way down, then he puts up the shot, and I hope they're going to say jump ball. Feldbaum got a piece of it, and they will give it the jump ball, and that is turned over to long Prairie-Grey Eagle. 22 seconds left. Schwarzentrooper, high lob pass to Feldbaum. Good job breaking the press to Warner at the free throw line. Pass out. Max Mitzel, the freshman, for 3, and he hits it from the corner. Mitzel from downtown. Here come the Tigers. 7 seconds. Intercepted by Warner. Warner with 3. Warner puts up the 3. No, the tip by Felix is off the mark. And the buzzer sounds as we go to half. 14-point lead for the Pine River-Backus Tigers as it's break time in Pine River. Second game of our doubleheader. It's Pine River-Backus 42, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle 28. We'll break down the first half when we come back on KLKS, Pequot Lakes, Nisswa, Breezy Point, and YourLiveEvent.com.
Great people. Economic viability.
A wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's
This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating, LLC. Online at SchruppExcavating.com.
Are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers, like the PRB activity.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Project. Schrupp Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors on their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Continue to play a crucial role in providing the energy we need.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus Schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Pequot Lakes Super Value offers simple and convenient curbside pickup. Order online at shop.pequotlakessupervalue.com. We shop for you and you simply pick them up at our front door. Save on gas too, earning 10 cents of savings on gas for every $100 spent on groceries. For quality service and freshness, shop Pequot Lakes Super Value. Good luck, area teams.
Back with you here in Pine River as it is Pine River-Backus 42, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle 28. Halftime of the boys game. Girls game won by Pine River-Backus 67-25. McGregor and Cook County a doubleheader tonight on KKI and FM 94.3. Those are both final. McGregor gets the sweep. Girls win 68-34. The boys win 78-61. In girls basketball, Walker Hackensack Akeley over Sabika tonight 75-43. Golden Gopher football leading Virginia Tech in the Dukes Mayo Bowl. Right now it is 14-7. Less than 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. First half of this one, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle came out firing. It was, in fact, Ephraim Schwartzentruber. Back-to-back threes gave the Thunder a quick 6-0 lead. Tigers came out empty on their first few possessions, and then they started lighting up the scoreboard. Pine River-Backus ends up knocking down 9 threes in the first half, and it was by 4 different players. Pine River-Backus, after being down 6-0, went on a 19-2 run, forcing the Thunder to take a timeout. Then it was pretty back and forth for a good chunk of the first half. Tigers got the lead up to 17 at 33-16. Thunder got it down to 12 at 35-23 before Pine River-Backus put together a little 7-0 spurt with a and one by Cole Oberfell. And it was a 19-point lead at 42-23. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle grabs the last 5 points of the first half, including another big three a big three by freshman guard Max Mitzel to close the gap a little bit, gave the Thunder a little momentum heading into the locker room. 42-28, the halftime score. Very frantic out there. Both teams playing high tempo, flying all over the place. Actually really surprised there weren't more fouls in the first half. Unfortunately for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, they got senior guard Boston Mitzel back into the lineup tonight after an injury, and he picked up 3 of the 6 fouls committed by the Thunder in that first half. For Pine River-Backus, they were whistled for only 3 fouls, and I mean, these teams are getting after it. Full court pressure, hands everywhere. We've seen blocks, we've seen steals. We just haven't actually seen a whole lot of fouls called in this first half. As we take a look at we'll take a look at the numbers when we come back. But the PRB Tigers looking for the sweep at home tonight. They lead at 42-28 in the boys contest, and we'll go through the numbers when we return. This is high school boys basketball on KLKS Talk 100, RJBroadcasting.com, and YourLiveEvent.com.
With 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ. 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Major appliance on Oak Street in Brainerd.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Devin Kruger back with you, 42-28, your halftime score. Pine River-Backus in front. Let's take a look at the first half numbers. Turnovers, I have Long Prairie-Grey Eagle with 10 in the first half, Pine River-Backus with 8. Rebounding, the Thunder have the slight advantage, 24-20 overall. One thing the Tigers will want to clean up, the Thunder had 14 offensive rebounds in the first half compared to the Tigers' 7. Not much for free throws again, not much for fouls in the first half. The Tigers 1 for 1, LPGE 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. Individually for the Thunder, Ephraim Schwarzentrooper with 9 points, all from beyond the arc. Dirk Feldbaum, he's got 8 points with a couple of blocks. So those two sophomores with 17 of the 28 for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Max Mitzel with 3, 2 points apiece for Nathan Anderson, Boston Mitzel, Tyler Draxton, and Travis Warner. For Pine River-Backus, 14 from Tate Norman in the first half with a couple of steals. Mason Nelson, 4 from beyond the arc. He's got a dozen. 8 for Isaiah Ollie with a couple of steals. 5 for Cole Oberfell, and 3 for Isaiah Downey. Those are your first half numbers. When we come back, we'll take a quick peek at the scoreboard, and we'll get the second half underway. Pine River-Backus 42, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle 28. High school boys basketball on KLKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
With number 1 Diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors on their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
tournament and silent auction with proceeds benefiting the Pine River.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Remember, we have your live event coaches shows every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Just go to yourliveevent.com. Don't forget our winter sports guidebook. Some cool information on all of our area high school teams can also be found at rjbroadcasting.com. In girls basketball, Brainerd on top of Buffalo 67-48. Pequot Lakes trailing Duluth Marshall 36-31 at the half. Crosby Ironton ranked number 2 in Class AA. All over Grand Rapids. First half, 79-7. Grand Rapids really struggling this year. Second half underway here. Pine River-Backus with the basketball. They go to my left, and they'll start with a turnover. Schwartzentruber takes it away from Norman. Thunder down by 14. Here's Schwartzentruber for a big three to start the second half. Front iron, no. Warner offensive rebound. So right away, LPG gets a second chance. Feldbaum, Schwartzentruber with the three, left side wing. This time he connects. The fourth of the night. That's an 8-0 run now for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, as they cut the lead to 11 again. They went to overtime last year. Downey trying to answer. This one hard off the back iron, and Felix rebounds. Here come the Thunder. Boston Mitchell in the baseline, and his pass tipped away and stolen by Mason Nelson. Nelson does a nice job just holding on to the ball. Kind of let things settle down before the Tigers went the other way. Norman driving baseline, flips it to Minion, looking for Nelson. That one cut off and intercepted by Warner. And then as the Thunder go the other way, Isaiah Ollie called for a foul. That'll be his first. If LPGE gets a bucket on this trip, much like last trip, it would cut the lead into single digits. And Pine River-Backus led by 19 late in the first half. And the Tigers are allowing 70-plus points a game. Here's Felix for three, and he's got it from the corner. First bucket of the night for Joel Felix, and the lead has been shaved to 8. 42-34. Norman to the corner. Downey again. This time gets the friendly home roll. 45-34, as the teams might be looking for a three-point contest in the second half. Felix to Schwartzentruber. Both these teams have got to close out on the shooters. Here's a Boston Mitchell. Drives, 15-footer. That one too strong. Ollie rebounds. Ollie up the left side, 1-on-4. Ollie says, no, I will not be stopped, and he's going to get bumped and fouled by Schwartzentruber. That'll be number 2 on Schwartzentruber. Boys basketball, Aiken and Piers tied at 42 at the half. Tigers inbound on the baseline. Crosby Ironton leading 26-16 at Mesabi East. That was a halftime score. Tate Norman in traffic, lost the handle, cannot save it, and the Tigers have already committed 3 turnovers here in the second half. Walker Hackensack Akeley at Sabika. Girls won handily. See if I can find a Northland all over Carlton Renshaw in boys hoops. Walker Hackensack Akeley leading Sabika 46-25 on the boys side. Here's Felix with a long 2, and he buries it. Joel Felix, the junior, scoreless in the first half. 2 big buckets here in the second half. 45-36. Here's a 3, and that one is good. Isaiah Downey with his 3rd of the night from long range. 48-36. Quickly into the front court, Boston Mitchell. Tigers in the man-to-man, gets a screen from Warner. Right side, Feldbaum. Feldbaum pulls up, high post, left it short. Ollie rebounds. Tigers hoping that the Thunder cool off a little bit here to start the second half. Here's Nelson at the free throw line. Down underneath. Norman goes for the flush with 2 hands. Norman makes it look so easy. Yes, I'm very jealous of that. 50-36 as Norman with the soft lob up there, and there is a turnover on long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Just effortless, up on the toes and rises above the rim. Cole Oberfell, Jonathan Sjogren in for Pine River-Backus. 3 minutes gone in the second half, 3:05 to be exact. 14:55 on the clock. Tigers lead by 14, 50-36. Biggest lead was 19 in the first half. Tigers basketball. Ollie from deep and nothing but net. Isaiah Ollie steps into one, lets it fly, and that's 8 in a row for Pine River-Backus as it pushes the lead back to 18. Make that 17. Now on the other end, Fellbaum with the turnaround, a bump and a foul. That'll be number 2 on Cole Oberfell. Fellbaum will go to the line for 2. He was the only player for the Thunder to go to the free throw line in the first half, and he was 0 for 1. Pretty good crowd for Friday night. Tomorrow on KLKS for those Talk 100 listeners and sports fans. Northern Lakes boys hockey, 14th ranked Lightning. They're out at Morris Benson area tonight. They take on Southwest Christian Richfield tomorrow. Pregame at 6:30 right here on KLKS Talk 100. Both free throws down for Fellbaum on this trip. 53-38, Pine River-Backus. Ollie to Nelson, and Nelson bumped and fouled. Warner tried to knock it loose, and he'll pick up his third. Second foul on the Thunder here in the second half. 53-38 the score. Ollie lobs it into Nelson. Nelson, oh, he could have taken the shot over Boston Mitchell. Decided not to. Downey into the corner to Oberfell. Tigers looking for Nelson. Right side, step back, the 3, short. And the rebound by Schwartzentruber. Here come the Thunder. Launching it down court, too high for Felix. And the Thunder turned over. Schwartzentruber squats down, knowing he just missed what could have been a big spark play again for the Thunder. 4 minutes gone, second half. Thunder in a 1-2-2 zone here in the second half. Nelson pass, and that one telegraphed, and that one deflected. Boston Mitchell. Mitchell with the steal. Felix to Fellbaum. Fellbaum to the corner. Boston Mitchell wants the 3. Got it! First one for Boston outside the arc. 53-41, the lead back down to 12. Downey to Sjogren. They're getting it to Nelson at the high post, but he's looking for quick passes, and a couple have been deflected. Here's Sjogren, and he hits one from downtown, his first of the night. 56-41, Pine River-Backus. Lots of time to decide this one. Boston Mitchell out working against Downey. Drives, kicks, Warner, free throw line, count it. That's the second bucket tonight. Thought first it was the second. Ollie on the other end looking for 3. It was tipped. Sjogren kicks it out to Downey. Loose ball. Downey with it tipped up, and Mitchell with another steal. And now we're going to get a timeout, as perhaps Coach Eisenschenk thinks, let's just calm it down a little bit. Timeout, long Prairie-Grey Eagle with 12:53 to go in the second half. This will leave the Thunder with 2 timeouts remaining. It's Pine River-Backus 56, long Prairie-Grey Eagle 43. This is boys basketball on KLKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
You add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect. What do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org. This year,
Back with you, Devin Kruger here in Pine River, 56-43. Tigers by 13. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle with the basketball. White jersey working my right in the second half. Boston Mitchell gets a high screen, wide open. Warner with the pump fake. Warner inside, high off the window. It's off the mark, and Isaiah Downey gets a big rebound for PRB. Ollie on the right side to Downey for three. The step shot, no good, off to the right side, and Long Prairie-Grey Eagle rebounds. Only 8 rebounds here in the first 5.5 minutes. Both teams shooting pretty well. Boston Mitchell on the right side. Got it knocked loose, went off his leg. Mitchell had a confused look, but I had a good view of that one. And for a second, I thought they were going to award that to the Thunder, but they caught that did go off of his thigh, and the Tigers come back the other way. Ollie walks it across the timeline. Vilno came in during the timeout. Ollie left side with the fadeaway. Left is short on the left side. Boston Mitchell across into the front court quickly. 13-point game. Warner backing down. Downey puts it up short. Downey with good defense. Tigers, Downey running the 3-on-2. Lost the handle. Kicks it up top to Sjogren. Sjogren down the middle of the lane. Puts it up, and that one off the back iron and rolls out. Home rim unkind to Pine River-Backus on that one. 56-43 still, and now Feldbaum lost his footing. Coach Eisenshake wanted a travel, and now there's going to be a foul on Isaiah Ollie on a steal. Good hustle there by Schwarzentrooper, his third steal. Nelson, Norman, Minion all back in for Pine River-Backus, and for the first time we see Keller Klein-Bauman. He is a sophomore. He checks in. Thunder bring Tyler Draxton back onto the floor. All of a sudden, as soon as those offenses, they were all hot and bothered and heating up. Now they've gone a little cold. 56-43, we're stuck at. Here's Draxton with a drive, a kick out to Schwarzentrooper. He'll take the throw over Vilno. This one in and out. Rebound is going to go out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by Pine River-Backus, LPGE basketball. Second chance again for the Eagles. LPG took the timeout at 12:53. We played over a minute and a half of scoreless basketball. Draxton looking to inbound. Nowhere to go, and that is just about 5 seconds. He just got it into Feldbaum. Now to Draxton. The lane opens up. Feldbaum travels to the, or I shouldn't say travels. He did travel, but not in the violation. He did a big old Euro step. Tate Norman on the other end. He flies up and answers. 58-45. Pine River-Backus, 13-point lead. Lots of time left. Boston Mitchell drives. Here's Feldbaum. Free throw, baseline. That one short. Rebound, Pine River-Backus. Norman will trot into the front court. Gets a seal screen from Nelson, doesn't take the three. Crosses over, pull up, free throw line, bricked off the back iron, and that's going to be a foul on Dalton Minion on the rebound, going into the back. And that'll be a push call on the rebound. Ball belongs to LPGE. Pine River-Backus girls got the win tonight, 67-25 in our first matchup of the doubleheader. PRB controlled that one pretty much throughout. This one, the Tigers led by as many as 19 in the first half. Feldbaum kicks it, corner, Draxton got the triple. Draxton cuts the lead back down to 10. 58-48, Vilno, screen from Nelson, kicks it out. Nelson thought about the three, cuts inside to Minion. Minion with the smaller Schwarzentrooper off balance shot, no, got his own rebound, no again. And Felix rebounds. Here come the Thunder. Thunder cut it to 8 at 42-34, and then the Tigers got hot again. Here's Boston Mitchell for three, got it! 58-51, timeout Pine River-Backus. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle getting hot from outside in the second half. They've hit 6 from downtown, and with 9:37 to go, it is a 7-point game. Timeout Pine River-Backus, and here on KOKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC. Online at schruppexcavating.com.
Becoming a community family.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
That comes from knowing your financial situation is secure.
Devin Kruger back with you. Halftime of the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Minnesota Golden Gophers lead Virginia Tech 21-10. Isaiah Ollie to Tate Norman. Long Prairie Eagle staying in the 1-2-2. Sjogren for 3, and this one rattles out. Fellbaum with the rebound. The lead is 7. Here come the Thunder. Fellbaum driving in, baseline, goes in, blocked by Mason Nelson. Tigers back the other way. Ollie to Nelson, top of the key, zips it left side. Ollie thought about the 3 into the corner to Sjogren. Skips it over. It's Downey. Wide open. 3 in the corner. Short. And Boston Mitchell rebounds for LPGE. Halfway through the second half. Mitchell to the left side. It's Draxton. Draxton dumping up and under. No. Fellbaum the follow, and it's good. Fellbaum has a dozen, and the lead is 5. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle has Downey, the kick. Ollie for the 3. This one, front iron, no. Fellbaum rebounds. Here comes the Thunder. Schwartzentruber, Boston Mitchell to the corner, Draxton. Tons of time left to decide this one. The kick out. Good closeout there by Ollie on Draxton. Draxton lost the handle to Fellbaum. Fellbaum inside, no, but a foul. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle has not been this close since it was 10-6. Actually, make that 13-8 in the first half. The foul is on Dalton Minion. That is his. Well, I have it as first. I had it as second. And the first free throw for Fellbaum is good. And the lead for Pine River-Backus continues to shrink. Oberfell in for Pine River-Backus. He'll replace Nelson. Felix returned for the Thunder. Fellbaum's second free throw is good. He's 4 for 4 in the second half. The lead is 3. 8 minutes to go. They went to overtime last year. Thunder trying to erase a 19-point first half deficit. Oberfell, free throw line, quick shot, short. And the Thunder rebound. A 3 would tie it. It was 42-28 at the half. The Thunder have come alive in the second half. Connecting from long range and short range. Fellbaum thought about the 3 for the tie. Mitchell to the near side to Schwartzentruber. He'll drive and kick. Boston Mitchell, now Sjogren took a shot on the chin. Shot clock at 9. Felix in between defenders, got poked away. Big takeaway by the PRB defense. Here's Norman, and he traveled. Yep, he did too. Norman asking for the explanation, but that one was pretty clear. And the Tigers give it back. 7:17 to go here in the second half. Pine River-Backus 58, Long Prairie Eagle 55. LPGE only 1 win on the season. Here's a long launch pass. It was tipped. It was off of Fellbaum. Oberfell got a piece of it, and then Fellbaum re-tipped it. And the Tigers create a big turnover there. 58-55, Norman into the defender, pass too high for Ollie. And it's going to be tracked down, and we're going to have, it's going to be a backcourt violation. It was a race with Downey and Schwartzentruber. It was a race to the ball. Downey touched it first, so that is the backcourt violation, and it is going to be LPGE basketball. The fans aren't going to like this, but we had a good view. That was the correct call. because they were thinking that there might have been a foul on Schwarzentroober. They were both going for the ball full speed. They're both entitled to their space, and Downey touched the ball first, creating the backcourt violation. Under 7 to play, LPGA. Lob pass to Schwarzentroober. He steps. He puts up the 3 for the tie. Back iron, no. Felix, the offensive rebound. A second chance for the Thunder. Down by 19 in the first half, down by 14 at the break. Felix, free throw line. Looking, shot clock at 10. Boston Mitchell to the right side, and he traveled. Tried to slam on the brakes and picked the ball up a touch too soon as he gives it back to the PRB Tigers. Tigers with only 14 points this half compared to 27 for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Tigers have gone cold from outside. They've hit 4 this half, but they haven't hit one in a while. In fact, just all the shots for the Tigers have stopped dropping. They got to see if they can warm it up, warm it back up. Here's a pass tipped by Schwarzentroober. Shot clock at 10. Isaiah Ollie pulls up, looking inside for Alba Farrell and nobody home. Throw it right into the hands of Fellbaum. Here comes the Thunder again. Schwarzentroober, left side, the driving kick to Felix. Under 6 to play now. Felix, a shot, no, but a foul. And Joel Felix will go to the line as the Thunder fans and the girls basketball team in the stands making lots of noise. Jonathan Sjogren on the foul. It was 53-36. It's a 19-5 run right now for the Long Prairie-Grey Eagle Thunder, looking to close the gap even more. First free throw for Felix. Felix rattles in. Did not score in the first half. He now has 7 in the second half. Vilno and Nelson back in for Pine River-Backus. Nathan Anderson returns for LPGE to cut the lead to 1. Felix, shot up, back iron, no. Nelson, the rebound for Pine River-Backus. 58-56, 5:53 to go. Vilno brings it up the left side. Tigers are not doing a lot of pass fakes on the perimeter, and the Thunder, that's part of it. It's not that the Tigers have had a ton of turnovers as Downey puts up the 3 short, but it's just making life harder. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle with the rebound. Coming back the other way, 2 to tie, 3 for the lead. Schwarzentroober at the top, right side, Anderson. Anderson drops it down to Warner, through his hands momentarily, flips it back to Fellbaum. Fellbaum for the tie, the fadeaway, well short of the mark. Ollie rebounds. Ollie up the near side, gives it up to Downey. Downey wide open. Downey down the left side, all the way to the rim, and he scores. Downey with 10 this half. 60-56 in favor of Pine River-Backus, and the Tigers hoping that that basket will pop the lid off the rim. Now we're going to get a foul. Isaiah Ollie wanted a double dribble, but we're going to get the foul instead, and that is team foul number 7 on Pine River-Backus. Vilno commits the personal, and senior guard Nathan Anderson to the line for a 1-and-1. Correction, that's team foul number 8. Pine River-Backus has 4 timeouts remaining. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle has 2. Possession arrow favors the Thunder. And the free throw banked in by Anderson. Banks it in here at Pine River-Backus High School. To cut the lead back down to 2. Free throw up, and he got them both. And now Boston Mitchell will come back in for LPGE. 60-58, Pine River-Backus, 4:58. Lots of time left. Post-game recap will follow. Tigers looking for the sweep here at home. Girls got the win. Vilno to Sjogren in the corner with the pump fake. Back to Vilno. Vilno, long skip pass. Downey fakes the 3, looks to drive, kicks it back out to Ollie. Wide open look for 3. This one short. Tigers stay cold from outside after they started off the second half, still warmed up from the first half. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, another chance to tie or take the lead. Boston Mitchell, top of the key to Fellbaum on the left side wing. He'll flip it back into the left side corner to Felix. Gets a screen. Felix driving, and he lost the handle. Right into the hands of Vilno. 8th turnover this half, 18th in the game for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. Tigers have 17 turnovers tonight. Ollie driving left side, and as he is attacking, they're going to get a little extra hand check push on Fellbaum. That's going to be his first. Only the third foul on the Thunder in the second half. Tate Norman going to check back in. He'll replace Ollie. 4:07 on the clock. Norman has 18 for the Tigers. Mason Nelson, who had 4 threes in the first half, hasn't scored in the second half. And now Downey to Warner, and then right back to Downey. Downey to Norman, and he'll lay it up and in. Oh, I want to turn it events. That was Warner with a tremendous play, but then he threw it right back into the hands of Downey, who fed Norman for the finish. 62-58 PRB. 3:47 to go. Schwartzentruber from downtown deep, and he connects his 5th of the night. 1 point game with 3:38 to go. 62-61 Pine River-Backus. Vilno, there's the good pass fake. Got the defender in the air, goes to Norman. Norman splits defenders to Nelson. Nelson wants 3. This one left short. Rebound tapped, and Warner has it for LPGE. And we're going to have a reach and a foul on Tate Norman. And Warner will go to the line for a 1-and-1. The junior with 4 points tonight has not attempted a free throw. And the front end of this 1-and-1 will be to tie the game at 62. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle led 6-0. First free throw rattles in. We are tied. And we're going to have a timeout before the second free throw with 3:18 to go. It is 62-62 timeout. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle. They'll have 1 remaining. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is a fun Friday night now. A 19-point lead by PRB erased. Tie game as we're back after this on KLKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors on their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor.
Devin Kruger back with you. 62-62, Travis Warner, the junior, at the line to give LPGE the lead. Last time they led was at 6-5. Pine River-Backus was down 6-0, put together a 19-2 run. And with 3:18 to go, the free throw, did that hit anything? No. After hitting the first free throw, second free throw missed everything. And we are tied at 62. Tate Norman with it, 3:15 to go. Sjogren, Nelson, Norman, Downey, and Vilno, the 5 on the floor. Norman driving to the right side, the right-handed finish, around and around it goes, and it drops through. 64-62 PRB. Here's the Thunder down court. Felix fouled by Mason Nelson. I always chuckle a little bit. This is one of those for the fans that they get irate about. Nelson got the block clean up top, but the foul call is that he bumped Felix with the hips down low. That's the call, and probably the correct one. Joel Felix at the line for 2, and the first one is good. 64-63. Ollie comes back in for the Tigers. Vilno will come out. And now the Tigers only have 4 guys on the floor. Jonathan Sjogren came out hurt. And Cole Oberfell had checked in and then making sure, good job by the officials, make sure the Tigers have a full team out there. 2:58 on the clock. Felix for the tie at 64. Got it. Joel Felix did not score in the first half. He has 9 here in the second half. 64 apiece. Norman to Ollie in the right side corner. Ollie almost wasn't ready for it. Downey to Norman in the corner. Norman puts up the 3. This one spins around and out. Warner rebounds. Thunder looking for their first lead since 6-5. 2:38 to go. Schwartzentruber up top to Boston Mitzel. Feldbaum looking for the drive to the free throw line. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Down inside to Warner. Warner inside. That's an offensive foul. Warner turned and he got his elbow into Cole Oberfell and extended the arm. And a lot of times if you see that as an official, you're automatically calling that foul. That is number 4 on Travis Warner for Long Prairie Eagle. He will stay in the game. 2:20 to play. Tigers looking to take the advantage again. Downey to Ollie. Nelson at the free throw line. Underneath, Oberfell wide open, and he is going to be fouled by Joel Felix. Oberfell gave a pump fake, and Felix jumped and landed into his back. Cole Oberfell will go to the line for 2. That'll be foul number 1 on Joel Felix. Oberfell 5 points, all in the first half for the Tigers. At the free, in fact, he's the only Tiger to go to the free throw line in the first half. 1 for 1. He leaves the first one short. Tigers have 4 timeouts remaining. Long Prairie Eagle has just 1. Thunder are in the double bonus, and Oberfell short on both of them. He missed both. It stays 64-64. Boston Mitchell quickly down the right side. Nobody there. Goes up too strong. Warner in the offensive rebound. Felix, and the pass intercepted by Isaiah Ollie. Ollie's 3rd steal and a huge one to the corner to Oberfell. Oberfell up top to Norman. 1:50 to play. 64 apiece. Isaiah Downey, the sophomore. Ollie to the corner. Nelson for 3. Got it! His first of the second half. His 5th of the game. Down on the other end, it's Felix for the answer. 67-66. 1:27 to go. Tate Norman up top to Downey. Oberfell, and a foul on Travis Warner. That's going to be his 5th. He will foul out with 1:20 on the clock. Team foul number 6. It's team foul number 6 on the Thunder, so the Tigers not into the bonus yet. Tyler Draxton will come in for Warner. Tigers inbound on the baseline. Ollie lobs up to Norman. Nelson's waiting in that corner. Norman with the drive, with the floater, and he connects. Norman with 24 and a timeout. Jordan Ackerman and Pine River-Backus. That will leave them with 3 with 1:14 to go. Don't go anywhere. This is boys basketball on KLKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Serving Pine River-Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Shrub Excavating LLC. Online
the PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Enbridge. Life takes energy.
Welcome back. 1:12 to go. Long Prairie Eagle just inbounded. Boston Mitchell driving on the right side. Isaiah Ollie tried to take the charge, but he wasn't completely set, so he commits the foul. The senior Boston Mitchell in his first game back after an injury, which included missing time last year. He's got 8 points, first trip to the free throw line, and the first one is left short. 69-66 Pine River-Backus, 1:12 to go. Browerville beat Cromwell Wright tonight 60-58. Walker Hackensack Akeley on the way to a win as Mitchell hits the second free throw. 69-67. No full court pressure for Long Prairie Eagle. Next foul will put PRB in the bonus. 1-2-2 defense. The Thunder have been in all second half. Isaiah Downey to Tate Norman. Under a minute to go now. Norman launches it over to Downey. This is where the shot clock comes in because the Thunder don't have to foul. Shot clock's at 14. Norman on the right side wing. Nelson at the free throw line. Looking, spinning, kick out to Norman. Norman drives, pulls up from 15, misses. Oberfell, offensive rebound. He kicks it up to Nelson. Big offensive rebound. Downey for three. Got it! Isaiah Downey's fourth of the night. 72-67, and now Mason Nelson just intercepted the pass with 30 seconds to go. Oberfell on the near sideline, and he's grabbed by Joel Felix. Mason Nelson hustling back defensively, intercepts the pass as the Thunder try to rush down the floor, and now the Tigers look to ice it. 5-point lead, 25 seconds to go. Cole Oberfell at the line for a 1-and-1. How about Isaiah Downey knocking down the three to give the Tigers a 5-point lead, and then the hustle on the other end by Mason Nelson, who's been putting the crowd into a frenzy all night long with the steal. Oberfell hits the first free throw, gets the bonus. This one to make it a 3-possession game. It's up. It is good. 2 big free throws for Cole Oberfell, the junior. It's a 3-possession game, 74-67. Timeout. Pine River-Backus will keep it here for a game reset. Timeout PRB. Girls got the win tonight. 25 seconds to go. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle has 1 timeout remaining. Pine River-Backus has 3. Correction, 2 after this one. 2 timeouts remaining. The Thunder are in the double bonus. Tigers are in the single bonus. Possession arrow does favor the Thunder. And if you're the Tigers, you're doing exactly what I thought you'd do. You got to bring out full court pressure, not to really put pressure on the ball. You just want to make sure the Thunder have to use every second possible to get the ball down the floor. Draxton inbounds it, and there's going to be a foul. Didn't really want to see that. I don't think if you're the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Nelson came in to try to tip it away. It allows Dirk Feldbaum to go to the free throw line for 2 with the clock stopped at 23 seconds. And that foul occurred 70 feet away from the Thunder's basket. First free throw by the sophomore is short. 74-67. Second one is off to the right side, and Oberfell hustles for the rebound, and then he is quickly fouled. So a big 0 for 2 trip kind of helps bail out Mason Nelson from the foul. Now with 22.6 on the clock, Cole Oberfell will head back to the line again. The foul on Oberfell holding the basketball waiting for the official to go down underneath. The foul's going to be on Schwartzentruber, his 3rd. Oberfell knocked down 2 free throws on his last trip. It is a 1-and-1 once again. A game that went to overtime last year. This year, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle erased a 19-point deficit. The free throw is short. LPGE rebounds. 19 seconds. Felix in a pass, nobody home. Pass up ahead, Tate Norman intercepted it. Norman is fouled, and not sure what Felix was looking for down court. He threw it and nobody was there. A very easy steal for Tate Norman as Felix commits the personal, his 3rd, and Tate Norman at the line for a 1-and-1. Norman has not been to the free throw line tonight. 74-67, Pine River-Backus free throw hard off the back iron. Tigers miss another front end of the 1-and-1, and now the ball tipped loose, and that one went off of Boston Mitchell, and it'll be an offensive rebound for Pine River-Backus on the scramble. 7.9 seconds now as things look very bleak for the Thunder to try to come back. Ollie to Nelson. Nelson holding it inside. Norman will throw it down with 2 hands. They never even started the clock. Norman will get the flush on the assist from Nelson. 76 to 67. Here's a 3 on the other end, and a fitting finish as Mason Nelson grabs the rebound as the buzzer sounds. He went to overtime last year. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle erased a 19-point deficit here on the road, but the Tigers prevail and get the varsity sweep. Final score, PRB 76, Long Prairie-Grey Eagle 67. And the postgame recap starts next on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com.
Save on your groceries and
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
And you have decided to do it yourself? Keep it simple.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Everyone benefits. First National Bank has great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River-Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org. This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC. Online at SchruppExcavating.com.
KLKS. Pine River-Backus gets the sweep tonight. Girls get the victory 67-25. The boys victorious 76-67. Tigers go to 5-3 on the year, 4-1 in section play. Long Prairie-Grey Eagle falls to 1-6 on the season, 1-1 in section play. Hockey score Little Falls and Southwest Christian Richfield. Southwest Christian Richfield will be coming to Breezy Point tomorrow for a game against Northern Lakes, and we'll have that one for you. Right now, Southwest Christian Richfield and Little Falls tied at 2 after 2 periods. I was going to see, it doesn't look like there is a score update from Morris Benson area and Little Falls. But Pine River-Backus led by 14 at the half here in this boys basketball matchup. It was as much as a 19-point lead in the first half. Long Prairie Eagle used an 8-0 run, switching from first half to second half. Cut the lead to 8, 42-34. Actually, it was an 11-0 run. Cut the lead 42-38. The Tigers rebounded, got the lead back up to 17, but Long Prairie Eagle just didn't go away. Connected on shot after shot, and then Pine River-Backus, who had most of the answers in the first half, started getting a little bit cold from the floor, and that allowed Long Prairie Eagle to make the comeback all the way to tie the game, erased the 19-point deficit, tied the game at 62 with 3:15 to play, so there's still plenty of time to decide how this one was going to play out. The Tigers were able to connect on a couple of key shots down the stretch, and they get the victory for win number 5 on the year, 76-67. We'll go through the stats. We got post-game awards and everything. Already Jordan Ackerman, he was ready to talk after this win. He's already up here. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with more on the post-game recap after our doubleheader here on KLKS and YourLiveEvent.com.
Let's go bowling.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash. Open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
In Pine River.
Wide's Major Appliance in Brainerd is
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors on their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Bank locally. Everyone benefits.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
We are back here on the post-game recap as the Pine River-Backus boys get the win 76-67. Hard-fought win, and we've got all the players, got the coach all up here for the post-game interviews. As since the man is holding the mic, is going to be, we'll talk to him first. It's our Pine River Family Market star of the game, Pine River Family Market. Hugo's Pine River Family Market reminds you that every Wednesday, gallons of milk just $2 for $6. Everything you want in the small-town atmosphere at Pine River Family Market. Our star of the game, Mason Nelson the Jr., 15 points, all from beyond the arc. Came up with a huge steal at the end. All right, Mason, we got to start with the three-pointers. You found the stroke tonight. What did it feel like for you?
It felt really good just to have the confidence of my teammates backing me up. I mean, that's something we preach in practice, is having confidence in each other and having the faith to bring up your teammates and stuff. And when I hear people cheering me on, it makes it a lot easier to shoot and give you a lot more confidence to shoot.
Do you get a sense that, once you knock down a couple, that you kind of surprise the other team and they're like, oh my gosh, we got to get out on this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 0 for 2 in three-pointers earlier this year, so.
Well, you found it tonight, and of course, offensively, this team got rolling in the first half, and you guys play at a very high pace. Defensively, let's kind of flip it around a little bit, because you guys have allowed some points, but tonight you came up with some huge plays, especially that steal on the end. When it comes to that hustle, what does that show you and show this team of what you guys can do when you lose a deficit like that, but you can really come through on some key plays at the end?
It's just pure confidence and sheer will, I think, and I think showing that to the other team is also scary, that we're not willing to give up.
A big win to start 2025. Mace, if you could pinpoint maybe one thing that you hope you guys can carry from this team to go forward in the season, what would it be?
Just not giving up. I mean, they came back we had them beat by 20 points in the first half, and then they came back, and we just never gave up. We never gave up any sheer will or anything like that, so we just kept going through.
It was really fun watching you light up the scoreboard the first half. The crowd was going nuts with everyone, Mason. A really fun game tonight. Congrats on the win and your award.
Thank you.
Synchronize Mason Nelson. He was our star of the game. He's going to pass the buck along to our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game, brought to you by Enbridge. We're going to go sophomore Isaiah Downey. Speaking of threes, you knocked down a few yourself, especially 3 in the second half. One of them a key one down the stretch. Now, you got some playing time last year as a freshman, this time as a sophomore, getting into the starting lineup. How much, Isaiah, do you feel your game has grown from last year to this year?
Last year I had a lot of problems with turning the ball over and all that, so I've been working on my ball handling quite a bit, just getting stronger with the ball, finding plays, finding people open, stuff like that.
Mason talked about the confidence, and I think we see a lot of times in the basketball floor that a guy hits a couple of threes, all of a sudden another guy steps up and hits a three. Can you feel when that confidence is with all 5 guys on the floor that, hey, if you've got your shot, go ahead, take it, let's knock them down?
Yes, sir. When guys are hitting, it definitely brings up our momentum. I think we're a pretty strong team when it comes to going off each other's feelings and all that. So.
You're a fast team, and you're a deep team as well. We see Coach Ackerman, putting a lot of guys in. When you're on the bench with the way the rotations are right now, what do you focus on where you can get back on the floor and contribute right away?
Just watching for flaws in the game, things we can fix and create possibilities while we're playing. Figure out, help our teammates out when they're coming out and talking to them what they can do better, stuff like that.
Was there a time, Isaiah, that, especially when the shots started not falling and they were making the comeback, did you feel it get tight at all out there on the floor?
Yeah, for sure. With that, around 2 minutes left, they pulled off a couple of 3-pointers that were, they definitely hurt the momentum for us, but I think we came back in the end pretty strong, getting some good steals, and we got it done.
Big, hard-fought win. Great job. Of course, great energy out on the floor. That's why we do this award. Congratulations on the win.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Isaiah Downey, our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game. And then we're going to go to our big deal of the game. Of course, our big deal brought to you by a host of area businesses, including BigDealAuctions.com, Cuyuna Regional Medical Center, Tykes Carpet Castle in Brainerd, Shannon's Auto Body in Brainerd, Liljenquist Sewer and Excavating out of Aiken, Atwater Chevrolet GMC in Aiken, Riverwood Healthcare Center, Pizza Ranch in Baxter and Little Falls, W.W. Thompson Concrete Products of Brainerd, Von Hansen's Meat Market in Baxter, Wide's Major Appliance in Brainerd, and Donlinger Automotive in Brainerd. Tonight's big deal, Tate Norman, the senior, 26 points, a few steals, a couple of assists. Really kind of a complete game, but it went in waves for you tonight, Tate. You kind of started off hot, things cooled off, and then you found it again late, especially from 2-point range. When you're going, you have a lot of experience on the floor now. As one of the senior leaders, how do you kind of handle the adjustments when the shots are falling and then if they cool off as the game goes on?
So yeah, I'm just coming back from knee injury, so I'm a little rusty. But if the threes aren't falling for our team, I try to get them to attack the rim or work till an open shot appears, and I feel like that helps us all just get the mid-range, just get a layup, or try to run the floor faster.
Rebounding, part of the comeback Long Prairie-Grey Eagle had, they had a lot of offensive rebounds. As you guys continue to grow and you continue to work together with that, especially when you're in that zone defense and you're flying around, what are some of the things that you guys are continually working on to try to make sure that, a comeback like this doesn't happen, but on the other hand, you can show that if it does, you can be resilient enough to pull out the win?
Yeah. We work on a lot of X-out drills, so if we get burnt, we switch and just fly around.
When you're looking at teammates, and we've been talking a lot about the confidence, especially the shooting, like when Mason is hot. When the guys are feeling it, and you can sense that they are, how do you take the role of being the distributor and finding the open man?
So I try to drive in, draw some help, and kick out to them. Just give them an easier shot.
And then, of course, with your height, you can kind of be there to clean up some offensive rebounds if the opportunity is there, too.
Yeah. I got to crash more, though.
Hey, he said it, Coach. So, all right, so a win like this, now, again, we talked to, with Mason and Isaiah, they were underclassmen, you being one of the senior leaders, what do you want to take from this game, Tate, and move forward, especially if you're still healing, you're kind of coming back, you get into full board, you're back mode. What do you want this win to do for this team?
I want everyone to play like it's the last 2 minutes of the game and just fly around and just crash, rebounds, and
spoken like a true coach.
work some good shots.
Someday. Well, it worked. This was a ton of fun tonight. What a game. What a win for you on the Tigers, Tate. Congratulations on the award, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Tate Norman, our big deal of the game for the PRB Tigers. As he'll pass the mic on, we'll make sure those guys all get their awards. Jordan, I know Jordan will stick around and make sure the guys are taken care of. Well, speaking of distributing, I mean, your team, and I thought, and I don't have like the total number, and there wasn't necessarily a ton of them, but there were key assists in this game. And when you look at it right out of a win like this, Jordan, what stands out about how your team was able to share the ball, find some good open shots, especially when you needed them the most down at the final few minutes?
Yeah, I thought Tate really had a huge play there. We drew up a play for a corner three, and rather than shoot it, which our shots weren't dropping down the stretch, we kind of lost our legs. Rather than shoot it, he took it to the hoop and had a nice take. And then down the stretch, we got it, do our high-low look. We got it into Mason at the high post. And Mason turned and looked and hit Cole for free, and Cole got fouled. Some of those things we were trying to accomplish a lot earlier in the game, we didn't get to till the end. And yeah, they just started passing and getting it reversed and then hitting the high post rather than just trying to pump it down there right out of transition. So yeah, I thought they really passed the ball down the stretch and made good decisions. at the end, but we had that stretch before that where it was like nothing was going right. And but credit to the boys, they just found a way to win, and kind of the cardiac kids. I think they love to go bang on the lockers when it's a close game. So the cardiac kids got it done, and just a credit to all the players there.
I want to talk about halftime, Jordan, because you had the 19-point lead, and again the shots were falling. Mason was red hot from outside. Tate hit a couple. Isaiah hit some big shots, both Isaiahs, but then they get a couple of key shots to close the gap that little bit from 19 to 14 at the half. Did you feel that could have been the massive momentum shift that it was at that time?
Absolutely, because they kind of started switching to their 1-2-2. They would switch between trapping and sitting back, and I could feel them shifting and kind of feel a little momentum with that zone. So I knew we were going to have to come out and be prepared for their zone and continue to attack, because I like us when we're attacking the paint. And those zones obviously are meant to take away drives in the paint, and they did a good job at taking away our easy drives. So I was kind of ready for that zone, and I thought we did just enough to beat them, but I didn't think we executed super well in that.
Well, and certainly when there's a comeback like that, there's going to be some things to kind of pick apart. But when it came to the comeback, I didn't feel that your shot selection was really bad at all. I mean, the guys that were taking threes had open looks, and some of them were dropping in the first half. Guys are still taking to the basket. What were your thoughts on the things that your team was trying to do to combat the comeback?
Yeah, I think, like I told you before, you live by the three and die by the three. Like, when they're raining down, it's great and everybody's happy, and you have to also live with the consequences too. And that's our game, is to shoot threes. And they were open, and there were a couple I didn't like. We had a stretch where it was 2-3 possessions of forced threes. I didn't like those, but a lot of them we were getting to the paint, kicking it out, and they were just flat. So I was happy with those shots. You got to live by the three and die by the three sometimes, unfortunately. And thankfully, Mason hit a few, Isaiah hit a few, both Isaiahs hit a few, and enough to get us by, to squeak one out.
Well, again, you even said in the pregame this was a game that, because of the competition that Long Prairie Eagle had, that they were going to come in thinking this is a game they could win. And it was also a game where they got one of their senior stars back, and you could tell that helped carry them a little bit as well. So we asked the boys, from your standpoint from the coach, what do you want this win, considering that they erased the lead, they never took the lead, you got enough stops and enough shots to come out with the win. What do you want this victory to show the Tigers?
Well, I just want them to continue to understand, how to win those games, and they've shown that they can. We've won a couple close games, so continue to take those experiences, and because that helps us this year, it'll help us into the future too. When you have these games and you figure out a way to win, we've had teams that don't figure out a way to win, and that's kind of what it boils down to, is you got to figure out a way at the end. And I think we can just try to understand when we need to keep the foot on the gas and when we maybe need to slow it up a little bit. And so the good part is we won the game. The bad part is we had stretches where we really played poorly and didn't control the pace. So hope we can learn that from them.
Tuesday, Northam Collier. We know that things always get busy for January. I know we'll see you down the road here again soon. Coach, congratulations on a great win tonight.
Yeah, thanks for covering, Devin. Appreciate you interviewing all the boys and giving them a chance to get on TV a little bit and practice their life skills.
Practice that a little bit, yes. They need to know how to talk on interviews, right? 76-67 the final. Pine River-Backus, the boys get the win. The Tigers get the sweep tonight. We'll take a short break. We'll do a quick recap with the stats and the final goodbye when we come back after this on KLKS and on yourliveevent.com.
Great people.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Hannikin Insurance Agency is proud to support today's radio.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Boosters are happy to sponsor
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
Tigers get the sweep, 76-67 on the boys' game. Girls' side 67-25 as Pine River-Backus boys move to 5-3 on the year, 4-1 in section play. Long Prairie-Grey falls to 1-6. Quick rundown of the stats is, of course, we had the guys up right away for the interviews in the contest tonight. Turnovers, Long Prairie Eagle ended up with 23 by my tally, 18 for Pine River-Backus. LPGA, they controlled the rebounds, though they had, by my tally, 47 rebounds. The Tigers did do a better job of keeping them off the offensive glass in the second half, but the Thunder also were shooting a much better percentage, so that played a part in it as the Thunder out-rebound the Tigers tonight, 47-34 overall, and 17-11 on the offensive glass. Free throws, 3 for 7 for PRB, 11 for 17 for LPGE. 4 double-digit scores for both teams tonight. Of course, the getting a close game, 76-67 the final. For the Thunder, Ephraim Schwartzentruber had 5 threes for all 15 of his points, had 3 steals as well. 14 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 2 blocks for Dirk Feldbaum. Nice, solid game from him. Joel Felix with 11 all in the second half. Boston Mitchell had 11 as well in his first game back. Tyler Draxton had 7, 5 for Travis Warner, 4 for Nathan Anderson, and 3 for Max Mitchell for the Long Prairie Eagles, 67. For the PRB Tigers, Tate Norman led all scorers. He had 26, had 14 in the first half, a dozen in the second half, pitched in with 3 steals as well. 15 for Mason Nelson, all from beyond the arc. Had a couple of blocks, a couple of steals, and 3 assists as well. 14 for Isaiah Downey. He had 4 from downtown. 11 for Isaiah Ollie with 3 assists and 3 steals. 7 for Cole Oberfeld, and finish up the scoring for the Tigers. 3 for Jonathan Sjogren. Tomorrow we have Northern Lakes boys hockey as they take on Southwest Christian Richfield. Pregame at 6:30 right here on KLKS Talk 100. Of course, Monday morning with our Wake Lakes Morning Show, we'll run down scores from the weekend. But let's see, I was going to check the Gophers score. Gophers leading Virginia Tech 21-10. They're heading to the fourth quarter in the Dukes Mayo Bowl. That'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Of course, huge thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us bring it to you, including Plumbing Etc. of Pine River, Barnum's Pine River Napa, and Lako Heating and Air in Pine River, as we bid you a good night from Pine River. Pine River-Backus with the wins tonight. 67-25 on the girls' side, 76-67 on the boys' side. They get the sweep over the Thunder. Thanks for tuning in. Join us for much more. Find our upcoming broadcast schedules at rjbroadcasting.com or yourliveevent.com. As this is Devin Kruger. Stay warm, and let's do this again.
This has been a local sports presentation from R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Thank you for joining us, and again, thanks to all our great sponsors for helping bring you today's action. Check out our upcoming broadcast schedule at rjbroadcasting.com. We now return you to your regular scheduled programming.
To get in soon to do work, they are very interested.